Hello, I'm Captain Phoenix, and welcome to my corner. In this video, I'm doing the vinyl tag "If I Was a God," who started by Static Traveler, a challenge or a suggestion to answer 9 questions if you were a god, some sort of god. So that is what I'm doing in this video. The first of the 9 questions, the 9 challenges, is the question: show a record you'd improve by adding or removing a single track. And in this case, it is removing a single track from this record, I'm Your Man, Leonard Cohen. And if you know this record and have heard about it, you'll know that the track that everybody loves to hate is Jazz Police, a track here. This is a great record. I think personally this is one of Leonard Cohen's best. Great songs. The title track, I'm Your Man. First We Take Manhattan. Ain't No Cure for Love. Tower of Songs. A lot of great songs here, and the lyrics are fantastic. But Jazz Police, I don't get it. It doesn't fit. I don't get the lyrics. I don't get the musical expression here. It doesn't fit. Remove that, and this would be a better album. The next, show a record by an artist you'd resurrect from the dead, and there could be a lot, but I have chosen, and this is a CD I'm showing you. Scott LaFaro, a bassist. Many of you probably know him from playing with Bill Evans' trio. Sunday at the Village Vanguard is maybe the most known and the most popular and maybe the best record Bill Evans made with this young bass player, Scott LaFaro, who unfortunately died a few weeks after the recording of Sunday at the Village Vanguard and the 2 other albums from the Bill Evans trio at that time. And that made Bill Evans stop playing for several months until he was ready to get back to the piano and get a new trio. So Scott LaFaro, I really like to see him and hear him again, or wish that he would have been around longer. The third challenge is: which record that you own would you obliterate from the face of the earth, erasing all memory of its existence? And this might be controversial, but I'll tell you why. I chose this Pink Floyd, the final cut. There you can see it with the gatefold and the back. And the reason for me to choose this one is, let me say first, I really dig Pink Floyd. I dig them very much up until The Wall, maybe including The Wall. But this record is in reality a solo project by Roger Waters. He's written all the songs, he plays most of the instruments, and the other 2 left musicians in it, Nick Mason and David Gilmour, their hearts were really not in this one. So it's a sad story, it's a sad ending of a fantastic rock band, manifested in this in reality a solo project. And there you can find several videos about the process and how they got along or didn't get along very well, which each other at this time, and that's sad. So I wish this record had never been made. I don't like it very much. The themes of the songs are very much Roger Waters' personal problems with his a father that wasn't there, who got lost, who died or he lost in the Second World War. And that's a sad story. That's a terrible thing, but I think that was pretty much the theme of the background for The Wall as well. So this is more of the same, and maybe something, not to offend anybody, that he should have taken up with his psychologist and not put out on record. I think it's problematic. So this one, I would be happy without. I still have it. I don't want to throw it away, but yeah. The fourth question: show a record cover which displays something of the power of nature. I've chosen this one. It could be the wind, it could be the lights, it could maybe be the rain in the clouds here. And the record is Peter Green, In the Skies. That's Peter Green, as you might know. He was one of the founders of Fleetwood Mac. He left the band some records when they made their first, 2 or 3 records. And this is his first solo record. And apart from showing some of the forces of nature, it's a great record. It's silent, it's laid back, it's intense in a way. You sense a kind of fragility, a fragile musician behind it. I know he was struggling with some personal problems, but they come out in a very different way than on this one. So this is a record that I really love, and shows some forces of nature. And then the next question is, which 3 musicians, if you could Frankenstein them together to make a super musician? That's a funny challenge. But I've chosen these 3. Prince. Prince, for his productivity, he made so many records in very short time at a very high level, and some parts of his career, then some different things happened, but I think he got back. So for his productivity and his freshness to at the first like 10 years he was of his career, I would merge him or Frankenstein him with another great musician, George Michael, we see here, and for his sense of rhythm, for his taking up sensible themes about his own life, his own sexuality, his challenges with that, his loss of love, which could be heard. You could hear a lot about that on Older, which is being reissued very soon here in the autumn of 2020. I'm looking forward to that. I don't have it on vinyl, but yeah. And the third one, and as you might recall, these 2 musicians left us in 2016. And so did Leonard Cohen. Here we have him again. This is from his solo, his debut album. The way he writes lyrics is, to me, the best in the pop world and the pop rock world. If it was up to me, which it isn't, maybe if I was a god, I would have given him the Nobel Prize before Bob Dylan. But he didn't get it. He's left us in 2016. So if I was a god, I'd definitely review what happened in 2016 because we lost a lot of good musicians here. Bowie was another, Maurice White from Earth, Wind and Fire, and several others. So that was a horrible year. Okay, show a record by a male artist and a female artist that you would save from the end of the world to entertain you in heaven forever. And the female artist and the record by the female artist is this one. Lady Sings the Blues. It's one of the later Billie Holiday records. You can hear that she is worn. Her voice is worn. She was a heroin addict, I think, at that time here. And you can hear that life has taken, it has worn her down. But she sings so beautiful. This sadness she carries in her voice and in her songs here, that's just touching. I had this in 1984. I crossed the United States with a friend of mine in a big car, and we had a cassette recorder there, and we had this one on. So for me, this is connected to this experience, this 5 weeks crossing the United States of America. I'm from Denmark, so I was a long way from home, and Billie Holiday was with me, was with us. So I would take her on further. The record by the male artist is this one. It's Keith Jarrett, the Köln Concert, which probably a lot of you know. Also improvised solo piano. Great music, and the story about this record, you can find it on I'm sure on YouTube and on the internet at least. Everything was about to go wrong. The piano was out of tune. the pedals didn't work. It was a much smaller piano that he wanted to play on, but it was a young, as I understand it, a young student, a young girl who arranged this concert, if I'm right, and so he did it for her, And what came out of this was one of the most fantastic records here, especially the first part, the first side on this 2LP album. Part 8, just called. It is 26 minutes in heaven for me. So yeah, very, very good and fantastic record here. Show a record with a musician. Sorry. Show a record with depicts one or more of the 7 deadly sins. Lust, and I don't have to read further because this is a record with Lasse's Dime from 1985 called "More Than You Can Handle." I think it shows lust here, and it doesn't get better or worse, whatever, on the backside, and it continues on the inserts. I don't really know why I have this record. I think I read a review of it in a newspaper here in Denmark who praised it. So I bought it, but I never listened to it. I've heard it because I should make this video here, and then I got reminded of why I don't listen to it. It's so 80ish, and it is Lasse's Dime's only record made ever. So that was a short career, and this lust-oriented record is really doesn't age well. The question is, was it ever good? And then number 8 is show a record by an artist, if you can, who is assigned to hell forever for musical crimes against humanity. And that's controversial as well. But to me, that would be to point my finger at Dave Dexter Jr., and Dave Dexter Jr. was the American producer of the Beatles albums from 63 until, I think, 66. He was in charge of Capitol Records, of course. He was in charge of selecting and producing or co-producing or after-producing the Beatles records. He put on a lot of reverb on many tracks that doesn't fit them. He did different mixes that what the Beatles intended to do. Normally there were 14 tracks on the Beatles album. He made it onto 12 and selected them across the original albums. Money was an issue. Had several discussions of how the covers should look with the Beatles. John Lennon didn't really like what happened to the covers in the States, so he did a lot of things. He missed as a manager and producer of Capitol. He missed the opportunity to be on the Beatles for their first 4 singles. So they were released at other record labels, VJ and others. So he really didn't help this great band a lot in that period when he was the producer and was in charge of Capitol and handling the Beatles. And he turned down a lot of other great names as well. So, Dave Dexter Jr., you're not welcome. He made a lot of other things earlier, and he wasn't, that was maybe the problem, he wasn't really into rock and beat music, so maybe that was the reason he was a bit slow and did funny things. And number 9, the last question is to mention a VC channel here on YouTube that should have 1 million subscribers, so they never ever had to work again, and indulge us with their videos. And I would suggest Alan Castle and his channel, 10 Minutes Record Review. I have mentioned him in an earlier video. He makes twice a week, I think it is, 2 reviews, mainly of jazz records, but also other records. 10 minutes about the story, about the artist, about the recording, and about the record itself. And there's so much knowledge to get from that. He has a great sense of humor. He doesn't take himself too serious, but he takes the music and the record very serious. So that's that I could suggest him to get 1 million subscribers. He has a couple of thousands now, but he deserves to have a lot more. So good luck with that, Alan, and good luck to you. And thanks for watching. If you are not already a subscriber, please consider subscribing. That'll make me happy. I'll help the channel, and like this video if you like it. Hope to see you next time. Thank you. Bye bye.